All right, what's up, guys? How's it going? So, I want to. Well, do I want to go into that yet? The entire house smells like bacon. I made the bacon meal prep thing yesterday, and it came out kind of good. This bacon, amazing thick cut sliced maple bacon. The video's up on YouTube. It's like an hour long for some reason. It's over 2 days, but I'm not even talking about what I wanted to talk about. So I in the video I like talk about how people used to rave about my bacon when I was a line cook. Dude, I couldn't understand why. Because at the time, I was like, bro, it's just bacon. Uh, but I'll tell you what, the bacon I made yesterday was not up to par. Uh, there truly is an art to making bacon, and I seem to have kind of lost the touch. Surprise, surprise, I haven't been a line cook for 3 years. The funny thing is, today, when I make the breakfast sandwich, because I have three more egg patties, so 3 days, it's probably going to be amazing because I realize everything I did wrong. But I'm just rambling. Let's get the coffee started. Um, I just every time it's like only upstairs, right? When I come upstairs, all I smell is maple bacon, and it just overflows my senses. So today we're making the mix of all the different coffees together. We have French vanilla. There's a little bit of the Christmas holiday blend, which was pretty dark. There's probably some of the blueberry left in here. There's also the, hold on, that was 2 scoops. 3, 4, 5. There's some of the Christmas at Biltmore. There's some of the peppermint mocha. There's every kind of coffee ever in this brew. We're gonna call it the chaos brew, I guess. So, okay. I thought I saw something in the backyard that shouldn't have been there, but then I remember I put it there. What about I said? Yeah. So I made two mistakes. Well, I guess the first thing was a mistake. I used a frying pan that was too small, but I thought it was the biggest frying pan I had. And the problem with that is then like the ends of the bacon curl up and they don't cook as well, and you don't get nice strips. And then after the video, I found this fucker, and I'm like, bro, this would have been perfect to make those big, huge strips of bacon. I'm gonna move this over to the stove so when I make my breakfast uh, this morning after I make this video, I can actually make the bacon properly today. And I'll post a picture of the better versions of the properly cooked bacon. So the trick for bacon is to pull it off before it's actually done, because since it's so fatty and so greasy, it keeps cooking itself even when you take it off the heat. I put it on like parchment paper on my air fryer rack, not in the air fryer, just on the air fryer rack, and it ended up being too crispy by the time it was ready to put it on the sandwich. I had to take it off way earlier than I did. So that's the trick for bacon. It's to take it off when it still looks underdone. Now, it takes practice, and of course it's different for different like cuts of bacon, but you'll get it. The thing I really want to talk about today is two things. One, I'm just gonna say, when I said I'm popping off in 2026 in the past videos, I didn't necessarily mean numbers wise. That would be nice. It's like a wishful thinking type thing. Is it warm enough to go on the back? I don't know. All the snow's melted. Well, most of the snow's melted, but I kind of just want to sit on the porch today. No, it's too cold. Maybe not. If I leave the door open for a while, it might heat up. I need to find a hoodie. Do I have a hoodie that's clean that I can use? I've been doing laundry. This isn't something I was planning to rant about, but I can. Um, I think it's going to be too hard to find a hoodie in the middle of the video. But the cat fucking pissed on my clothes, right? So I made the other video the other day about like feeling better about finally playing with him. We're just gonna put my actual winter jacket on. I got my spaceman coat. So like literally minutes after I upload that video about being happy about finally making more time to play with the cat, I walk into my bedroom and because like things are being renovated right now, I don't really have the bedroom set up. There's no hangers in my closet. So I kind of just throw shit on the floor sometimes, including like a whole bunch of like my white wife beater undershirts and stuff. I walk into my bedroom and the cat is just sitting there pissing on my clothes. I was so pissed. Get it? So I almost like fortunately I have this stuff called Nature's Miracle. I kicked him out of the bedroom. He hasn't been allowed to sleep with me for the last 2 nights. Normally he sleeps on my bed, but I actually rant a little bit during the egg video about all of this because, oh man, I have so many things I want to talk about today. Like, I could literally just talk for 20 hours. I wish I could stream, but the computer is down. Guys, strap in because this is going to be a long one and it's going to be all over the place. I know there are comments I get sometimes that are like, bro, you need to focus on one topic. This is not going to be that video, by the way. We're just all over the place today. So let me just clear this table off a little bit. I've got my flagpole snapped in half because of the wind. I wonder if that's an omen. Anyways, I want the coffee to be ready so I can just sit down and chat with you guys. So, what were the things I want to talk about? First of all, the whole reason I'm gonna be going off like crazy. One, I do really want to figure out ways to monetize stuff better, and one of the ways to monetize stuff better is to get more views, and one of the ways to get more views is to make more content and better content. So that's just cause and effect type shit. But the real reason why is because I refuse to be silent, right? I refuse to be silent as we descend into this increasingly dystopian world. I've got another goal for 2026 that I didn't really mention before, and it wasn't hard coded into me yet, but like the stuff I've been dealing with the past couple days, it's absolutely a definite goal for 2026, and that is to de-Google my life entirely. I've already taken steps in 2025, right? Oh sweet, the coffee's ready. I use Proton as my main email address now. If you don't notice, the email business link in all of my posts. Oh God, that smells amazing. Oh my. Let's take a sip of it black first before we put some milk in it. I don't know what's going on, actually. It's it's very confusing. Wow. It's kind of good, but it's definitely one of those ones that needs some cream. There's no way I could just drink this black. It's way too potent. The important thing is I don't really like mint in my coffee. So the reason I made this crazy amalgamation of everything together is because I hate being wasteful of food, especially. And I had this peppermint mocha coffee that I didn't like, that I wasn't going to drink, that I was kind of hoping my family was going to drink when they were here for the holidays. But instead, my sister gave us coffee for Christmas. How dare she? And I'm not being like schizophrenic or anything. It was like a gift to the whole family. And then we made the coffee for everyone. And I got to keep the rest of it. But my sister gave us coffee for Christmas. So instead of making like the Christmas coffees I had here, we made her Christmas coffee, which ended up resulting in no one drinking the damn peppermint mocha that I don't like. So that's the whole reason I mixed all the coffee into one container. Is I'm hoping to dilute the peppermint specifically. I love a good mocha coffee. I made that makeshift mocha to start the year, but the peppermint ain't my thing. Hmm. Okay. That's surprisingly good, actually. Wow, the milk dilutes it just enough. Not even the peppermint. I can't even taste that at all, really. It's just like a hint of the coolness at the very end. Once I start talking, I don't even taste peppermint. You know what I'm talking about. It's got like that minty fresh feeling, which is a little weird for coffee, but it's very very subtle. Like, anyways, so we're back out on the porch. I don't know for how long, but it's just super rainy today. The whole backyard is just mud, which is fine because I'd rather the whole backyard be mud than snow. Absolutely. Uh, I still need to go grocery shopping. I've been working really hard to get the PC up and running, but my dumbass forgot that um, I have one old school hard drive in there. I have three hard drives in my system. Two are SSDs. One is a super fast Patriot Viper. It was like the fastest SSD I could get at the time. And it's kind of small, only 256 gigabytes. But on the original build, that was just my boot drive. And I didn't have the second SSD originally. That was my boot drive. And then the old school hard drive was my storage drive for like games and stuff. And then I would put some games like Tarkov that needed to be an SSD on the boot drive just because otherwise I would like load into a match and my squad would already be dead because we got spawn camped. That happened once or twice. And I just thought it was funny. I was the only one to make it out because my PC was so shitty, right? Normally, having a potato, and it's not my, that was like the previous PC. When I first got Tarkov, like we went in with like a four pack. A friend bought it, and we each got one of those at like a discount price. When I first played Tarkov, I was doing it on the old 2009 pre-built with my RX 560 or whatever, and it was barely loading the game. I would like load in and my squad was already dead, and then I'd be the only one that extracted. Normally, and having a shitty PC is a huge disadvantage, but in that case, it was just so bad that it worked out. But when I built this PC, I included a 256 gigabyte SSD and a 2 terabyte hard drive because I was kind of building on a budget. It was during COVID, and I built this specifically to be a full time gaming and video and music production rig. So having the storage capacity at the time so I could record all these videos was more important than the speed. And I split the difference by having a smaller SSD that was as fast as possible I could get, and a larger bulk storage drive. And then eventually, a few years or a year later, I don't remember, I've had it for a minute now, I installed the third hard drive, which is a 2 terabyte SSD, and that's ever since then been where I keep my. I don't know if that was me or the cat. I don't know if you guys heard that. I It's ever since that's been where I keep my Steam library on that, and then the old school hard drive is what all the streams are recorded to, because my bottleneck for uploading those videos is the internet. Like the internet, my hard drive's fat. That hard drive is faster than my internet connection. So it doesn't matter where I'm uploading from. It still takes 5 hours to upload the stream, or 5 to 10 hours to upload the stream to the internet, which is why I do that before I go to sleep. Um, the the issue though is I forgot how long it takes to erase that drive. I have a semi-functional build right now. The small SSD is no longer going to be my boot drive because on Mint I was having issues. Mint didn't really like multi-drive setups that much. I would have three issues with it. The first was that it wanted to put everything just in the home folder, and it was like really annoying to get it to put things other places. I had to go into like the terminal and change path things and create like pseudo links and shit like that, and it was fucking annoying as shit. And even when I did that, it wouldn't always fully apply because there would always be some like weird exception. The most annoying thing it would do is, even though I set my Steam library to the SSD, the large SSD, it, for whatever reason, if I installed something, another installer using Proton, for example, the way I played WoW Classic on Linux was I installed uh, BattleNet as a non-Steam game on Steam, and then I used the Steam Proton layer to emulate a Windows PC essentially, and the installed WoW Classic on that. And instead of putting that on the large SSD like it's supposed to, it put that whole thing on the small SSD, which wasn't a problem at first, but for some reason, every time I played it, it would just create these game files that wouldn't get deleted afterwards, and it actually filled up my entire 250 gigabyte drive with just encrypted WoW files because I had my hard drive encrypted, and I couldn't delete them. And eventually, it got to the point where I couldn't boot, and I had to roll back to a previous version of the system. And yeah, that was a pain. Um, this is all Linux Mint, by the way. What These are the reasons specifically why I was looking into switching to a different OS. Also, they're the reasons why installing the new OS, I decided just to install on the large hard drive. I was also going to, or the large SSD. Was also going to decrypt the small SSD, but I've actually wiped and re-encrypted that, and that's just going to be for storing important personal files and stuff, right? Because the thing a lot of people don't know is if you don't encrypt your hard drives, then someone can just plug a USB stick into your computer and access that using a live boot OS on the USB stick. So um, I've decided to take that small SSD and like make it my digital bank vault, so to speak. My digital deposit box. Um, the problem with the installation right now is that it takes 3 days to erase the hard drive, and I'm not kidding. It's literally 3 to 4 days. I forgot just how slow those old school hard drives are, and it's a 2 terabyte hard drive. So I started it last night, and for a while, the other thing is as they go, they get slower because it's just physics. The difference between a solid state drive and an old school hard drive is uh, the solid state drive is like the mini USB sticks, right? It's just um, a chip, but the old school hard drives, it's actually a spinning disk inside of there. And the reason that the speeds will speed up and slow down is because of the diameter or the radius. I don't know what the proper term is anymore. It's been fucking 2 decades since I did geometry. Um, I think that's the wrong measurement, actually, because that goes out this way. No, that goes. Fuck it. Because the arm needs to move back and forth along the disc, uh, the the more it needs to travel to find or erase that piece of data that it's after, the slower the read and write speed is going to be on the disk, which is why modern SSDs generally have a more consistent read and write speed. But the old school hard drives, they'd go up and down over time. And also why the more full your hard drive got, the more it would slow down. It's because it literally needed to move farther to read the data. So um, it started at like a day and 12 hours, and then it went up to 2 days and 20 hours, and now it's down to about 2 days and 10 hours. So I think in total it'll probably take about 3 days to erase that drive. That's something I do every time I install a new OS. It's not really necessary, but especially since my livelihood is made through my computer these days, I'm taking every precaution, and especially since I'm trying to de-Google my life and remove Big Brother from my anus in every way possible. I'm just wiping all the drives. So the small SSD has been wiped and encrypted. That was very fast. The large hard drive has also is in the process of wiping, and that's going to take 2 days. Now the large SSD, I kind of messed up a little bit. First of all, it's a new OS that I've never used before, and unless I missed it or there was like an advanced installation options that I missed, they actually didn't give me the option in Bazite to wipe the drive as it was installing. It deleted the old partitions, but I'm not entirely sure that it did like the full drive cleaning that I want to do. I can probably Google this to double check, but I do have Bazite installed and running on the main hard drive. The problem is I'm still waiting for that on the main SSD, and I now have the other SSD completely done. I'm still waiting for that full size, slow ass hard drive to wipe and format. So That's frustrating. But now that I think about it, I can probably just like check Bazite, or I can do some online searches to see if um whatchamacallit, to see if in the process of installing on that SSD it actually wiped the whole thing. Uh if not, what I'm going to do is live boot again using the USB. The two drives have already been formatted, so all I need to do then is erase and format the main drive and reinstall the OS, which was actually very fast. I do want to say, all this stuff I'm doing is unnecessary. By the way, I don't want to scare anyone off Bazite. If you're a Windows user that is considering switching to Bazite, it is the easiest Linux installation I've ever done in my life. It is even easier and faster than a Windows installation, honestly. It took no time at all. It was so simple. The only questionable thing is I wouldn't even say it's questionable. It's just the only question you may have as a new user is when you're installing and creating your account. Like, you need to create an initial local account, which is one of the huge things we didn't talk about of why you need to install Windows 11. Because I kind of forgot, and maybe I knew they did this, but I forgot they did it. It used to be on like Windows 10 and every previous version, you could just have a local account, right? You didn't need to connect your PC to the internet to be able to use Windows. Now you need a Windows Live online account to use Windows. At least that's my understanding. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, tell me in the comments. You don't need any kind of online account whatsoever to use Bazite. You just make a local account to log in, and you should always make a local account with a password so that, like, if someone breaks into your house, they can't just get onto your computer and steal all your banking information, right? Now, they can take your computer and then take your unencrypted hard drives to someone else that will know how to get the information off there, which is why you should also store all your important information on an encrypted hard drive. But that's a whole other level of thing that we can talk about later. The important thing that I want to say is the only thing that may be confusing for some new users is when you're creating a Bazite account, it's going to ask you if you also want to enable the root account, and the answer is no. Okay? Don't even worry about why. Uh, Even for power users on Linux, it's almost a dumb idea to do that, because it's really like a holdover from old Linux distros that has been made functionally not necessary on Bazite, and it can even cause problems with the system from the research that I did, the searches that I did. I feel like research and search has been um, combined into one word these days. I'm gonna stop correcting myself, but I do want to say generally from now on, when I say research, I don't mean I did a whole peer-reviewed study or actually went out and do an experiment, right? I mean, I spent 20 minutes to 2 hours on some Google foo shit. Now, I want to finish talking about the cat real quick before I get into the real thing. The way you deal with cat misbehavior like that specifically is there's three things cats really understand. The first is food. Now, you can't withhold food from a cat. they aren't like humans where our bodies are designed to work for long periods of time without food. I know that might sound ridiculous to you, but it's actually really easy for virtually any human to do a 3 day water fast. I've done them in the past, and I would like to do one at some point this year. I just need to figure out when I'm going to do that. They're great for cleansing. It's the same thing as like a juice cleanse, basically, except for no calories whatsoever, just water. Um, Bodies are really good at managing that. In fact, the average human can go for about a week, assuming you're not malnutrition beforehand. You can go for about a week without experiencing any negative effects, and generally, it's going to take 2 to 3 weeks for you to starve to death. That's how long humans can go without food. Cats, on the other hand, it's more like 2 to 3 days, from my understanding, and they're going to before they start to suffer serious negative effects. Something about how their body manages fat on their organs or something like that. I do my best to care for Charlie in every way possible, and I just want to be clear. I didn't research this because I was thinking about depriving him of food. I researched this when I was like really struggling financially, and I wasn't sure if I would be able to buy him food. Okay, uh, so for anyone that's thinking, oh, well, if cats understand food, because I think we all know that's like the one thing they understand best, right? Well, I'm going to deprive them of the thing they want most. No, don't do it. You will absolutely harm your cat very quickly. Uh, so never deprive them of food, and do your best to make sure you feed them at the same time every day, regardless of how much they misbehave. Um, the second thing that they understand, well, these two are kind of equal. I don't know which one matters more to a cat. They kind of work hand in hand because if they share one with you, they'll share the other. So we'll just say both of them at the same time. Affection and territory, right? So cats are, despite being very much like solo hunters for the most part, they're not pack hunters or anything like that. They're very, very affectionate, which is why they'll like cuddle up to you while you sleep, or they'll just beg for attention, things like that. They're also very territorial, which is why you'll see cats just absolutely going at it and fighting. But eventually, if they share affection with you, they'll also share territory with you. So, what is the best way to punish a cat that is misbehaving? It is to deprive them of territory and affection. When we first moved into this house, Charlie didn't like it. He missed his cat friends. He had like alley cat friends that were local neighbor cats back in Pittsburgh that he would hang out with. He didn't like that it's colder up here. He didn't like that it's windier up here. And this house is just like a normal wood and plastic construction house, not the old brick house that he grew up in. So the wind. Not only is it windier, but the wind also makes the whole house make a whole bunch of noises that terrified him. There was this hole in the ceiling he would hide in. And the other thing he would do is he was protest pooping everywhere. And the only way to deal with that is I took the smallest room in the house, which is going to be like my mom's sewing room where she puts all her little things. It's like a little office, not much. I think it's actually slightly smaller than this porch. It's about the same size. I put his food in there, and I put his litter box in there, and his water, of course, and I just left him in there for most of the day. He had no place to poop except for near his food or in his litter box, and he wasn't going to poop near his food, right? So I deprived him of territory, and also by keeping him in that all day, uh, I deprived him of affection. Now it served two purposes too, especially when I was painting the basement floor. Couldn't have him walking on that freshly painted basement floor and then like tracking it onto the brand new carpet upstairs and things like that. But that is how you punish a cat for misbehavior. And especially if they misbehave in an area, you deprive that of that area. So, fortunately, I have this cat piss cleaning stuff called Nature's Miracle. I been doing the laundry for the past 2 days of all the stuff that he pissed on, except for some of it's going to be annoying because they were like jackets that I haven't been able to hang up because there's no hangers in that closet yet. And I think I need to like dry clean them or something. And I need to figure out how I'm going to do that. There's got to be some way to dry clean stuff at home, you know? Because I'm not, I can't spend money for a dry cleaner right now. Um, and the other thing is, I have this Nature's Miracle stuff that I coated the floor with. It's an enzymatic cleaner. You don't want to clean um, cat pee with normal stuff usually, especially if it's like soaked in there, because that's just going to make it smell worse. It's actually going to activate the cat pee and make it smell worse again. I have a friend recently who talked about moving into a new place. The place they said they got the carpet cleaned right before they moved in, and it smelled terrible. And the reason why is because whatever cleaner they used probably activated the cat pee rather than getting rid of it. So what you need to do is an enzymatic cleaner, and you can make them at home, but I tried doing that and it didn't really work. Uh, I got so eventually I gave up and I got this Nature's Miracle stuff. I didn't give up, but I conceded defeat, I guess. I never give up. It's just sometimes you need to realize this is not a battle worth fighting. So, as much as I like to DIY things as much as possible, sometimes you just need to buy the chemical that a corporation spent hundreds of thousands of or millions of dollars developing. And I will tell you what, that Nature's Miracle stuff is indeed a miracle. I went through about a gallon of it when I first moved into this place, not because of Charlie, but because of the previous cat owners. And it was so bad, there's a landing going down to the basement that it was the cat pee had worn the paint off the landing and stained the wood like a really dark brown color. So one of the things I would do is every morning I would wake up and I would just put more of this Nature's Miracle stuff on that landing until you could barely see the cat pee stains anymore. And then I got this special scent sealing primer, and I covered that landing with the scent sealing primer. And that was like, in addition to pulling out all the carpet and throwing it out, and then coating the concrete floor underneath that carpet with the Nature's Miracle. That was how I managed to originally remove the cat smell. And I still have a little bit of that left. I keep a bit on hand just in case, he's bad. And so I went and I just mopped the entire floor with the cat pee in my bedroom. I didn't even do just the closet where he was peeing in. I just did the whole thing for two reasons. One, it's just better that way. I didn't want to be like, oh, it probably only ran this far and then miss a little bit of it, and then like a month later be catching whiffs of that again. The other reason is I was sending a message to Charlie. Cats are way more intelligent than people think. And I'm pretty sure he knows what the stuff is, or at this point, he probably does now if he didn't realize before. But I coated the entire bedroom floor with it, or at least like all the exposed parts. I didn't go under the bed entirely. Uh, and since he did that, I have kept the bedroom door closed, so he's not allowed to go in that room anymore. That is my territory, and he needs to understand that. And he's no longer welcome in that territory for the time being. For the past 2 nights, he has not been allowed to sleep on my bed. And it's kind of funny, but it also makes me sad. I wake up every morning and I come out of my bedroom and he's just crouched there on the carpet waiting for me to come out. And it makes me so sad. But I'm like, you need to learn, cat. No more pissing in my fucking closet. I've also been checking the litter box to make sure he is peeing there and not somewhere else in the house. And he's definitely going back in the litter box again. So that's good. I think part of it um, is a little bit of a protest pee thing. I think part of it was laziness too. I think it ended up being worse than I thought. I started moving the clothes and I realized he'd been doing it for a minute. I just couldn't really smell it because it was in the closet and I hadn't touched those clothes. And I think he was doing it one out of laziness. I'm guessing he would just get up in the middle of the night and pee in the closet and then come back to my bed. And the other thing is, I think he's just mad that he hasn't been able to go outside and when it was all snowing, because he'll like beg to go outside. And I'll open the door for him, and then everything will be covered in snow, and he'll change his mind. And he'll do that sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. And um, he's kind of like a dog in that he prefers to go to the bathroom outside. So I think in a way he was mad at me for the weather. So it was pissing on my jackets because he couldn't piss outside. Anyways, that's that. Now, what I want to talk about with the de-googling everything and the dystopian world we live in is that it's getting worse. I saw a thing today. It was a Moist Critical video where he was talking about the fact that apparently PlayStation is coming out with an AI that will play the games for you. How fucking stupid and lazy are people that they're going to have an AI complete game levels for them? Like, what's the point of even playing a video game if you aren't playing it? You know? Like, it makes literally no sense to me. Also, I want to say, I feel like um, if you have the AI complete the video game for you or even one level, you don't get that achievement, right? Because I'm an old school gamer. I was never an achievement hunter, so to speak. Uh, Great channel, by the way. Did they still make content? I gotta check that out. Um, but like I still have my old school Xbox Live account. I haven't played Xbox Live in forever, ever since I became a PC gamer, because it's like, why would I pay a subscription to play on the internet when I can just play on the internet on my PC for free, right? So I probably haven't really, I don't think I've had Xbox Live since like 2009, 2010, or whatever. But back in the day of like Xbox 360, Halo 3, and stuff like that, I would absolutely focus on those gamer profile achievements. I don't really care about it on Steam. There are some games that I like. If you go look at my Steam profile, Steel Drifter, there are some like achievements that are on my profile just because I'm like, whatever. I'll put them there. It's cool that I have this achievement that like 0.3% of players have or whatever. But I absolutely feel like if you're playing a game and the game beats itself for you, you don't get the achievement, you know? I don't think there's any way you get the achievement. And the thing is, there's two ways to do it. There's one version in this patented PlayStation thing where it shows you, and then there's another where it actually does it for you. Personally, I think if you turn that on at all, you just shouldn't get the achievement. Now, there is the argument to be made that like the one where it shows you is like not really much different than just looking it up on YouTube. So I could see there being a line drawn. Whereas like if you just do the one where you follow the ghost, but that's still way easier than watching a video and then having to replicate it yourself. No, I'm drawing a hard line here. If you turn on the AI auto completion for the that's built into the game, regardless of whether you just follow the ghost AI or actually have the AI beat the level for you, you don't get the achievement. And like this is just we're getting into like really dystopian uses of AI and technology in general. Like today in the Star Wars RPG server, someone shared a meme, and I couldn't see the meme because I'm not logged into Facebook on the install on my PC that I'm running right now. So I was just like, no. I just was like, I guess I don't need to see that meme. And my response to the post was, it's so dystopian that someone needs to create a Facebook account and log into it to just see this meme. So there's more things I want to rant about today. I still want to talk more about the Maduro situation, but I also want to read the Constitution again before I do that. And I just haven't had the time because I've been working on uploading these videos and working on the PC install, and I need to make a phone call soon. So that's what's going on right now. It's going to take a minute. I'm not going to start this upload until after the phone call. But I'm going to go make my breakfast sandwich. I'm going to wait for that phone call. And then I'm going to keep working on the PC. I don't know if I'm going to end up being able to stream this week because it's going to take 3 fucking days to wipe that old school hard drive. But the advantage of that is I can do a little bit of extra work on the renovations of the house while I'm waiting for that. And I can finally catch up on like the social media comments and Discord conversations that I've been saying I'm going to do for 3 months now. So, um, also, I am definitely 100% de-Googling my phone as soon as possible. Someone was talking about Windows 11 now. Apparently, like, you can't just search locally on your PC for files anymore. It uses Bing to search your PC, which is fucking insane. And that's one of the things I hate most about the Google Pixel is that even when I'm searching my own phone for like the trash so I can delete the previous video to make space to upload a new one, it uses Google to search my phone and then gives me a bunch of online suggestions. I'm like, what the fuck, man? So, Graphene OS is happening as soon as I can reasonably make it happen. I just can't. It would be very dumb to have both my phone and my PC offline at the same time, especially because of the way like Steam Authenticator and Discord Authenticator and stuff work like that. I could lock myself out of some of my accounts if I do that. So as soon as Bazite is up and running, and I absolutely love it so far, by the way. The customization is great. I haven't even really done anything on it, to be honest, because I'm not sure if I'm going to need to wipe and reinstall that one SSD yet. But I did some minimalist things just to adjust things. And oh my God, I love Bazite so far. It's honestly maybe even better than Windows XP. But I've only had a day with it. So Windows XP was the greatest operating system of all time, in my opinion. And uh, I'm in the honeymoon phase. I'm really enjoying it at this point, but um, I haven't really had the chance to use it yet. So give me like a week of using Bazite, and then I'll tell you how I really feel about it. But so far it's great, and I'm probably gonna start making content showing people to get rid of how to get rid of Windows, how to de-Google their life, and also I want to make more Warframe content. I've just kind of locked in Warframe as my main game at this point. For a while, I wanted to go back to Elder Scrolls Online, but I learned that they made Elder Scrolls Online so that your character class doesn't matter anymore, which sounds like the dumbest shit. I don't even want to play it with that post that update because I just want to remember Elder Scrolls Online the way it was when I loved it. I have kind of ruined my love for EVE Online by going back to it over and over again after the updates it ruined for me. And every time I play EVE Online, it just makes me angry again. I don't want that experience with Elder Scrolls Online. I just want to appreciate it for what it was. And I'm going to play Warframe as my main game until a new good MMO comes out. And then we'll give that a try. Anyways, delete Windows 11. We're adding that to the outro, by the way. I like to always bring something new, but that's not. I'm realizing that's not necessarily what the algorithm likes. Every time I try and talk about something slightly different, or maybe go more in depth than I have in the past, but the algorithm doesn't like that. And you know how? I know that because some of the biggest TikTok channels just upload the exact same video every single day, and they get millions of fucking views doing it. So you're probably going to hear me start to repeat myself more often. And one of the things I'm going to say very often these days, and probably do whole other videos on it once I get everything that's bouncing around my brain right now out of there, is delete Windows 11. I don't care whether you go to Mac OS. I don't care whether you go to Bazite or a different Linux operating system. Just delete Windows 11. It's so important to me. Also, de-Google yourself, right? That we're going to add that. Those things are so important to me that we're going to add them to the outro. And I'll probably take a moment for me to remember to do that with all the videos. But the new outro is delete Windows 11, de-Google yourself. I love all of you, and God bless America. Cheers.